Welcome back to Pull on the Call podcast. My name is Mændy Mac,
And I am Cris Rivers.
and today we are here with the amazing pole coach and competitor Gothic Babydoll, also known as Michelina.
Yay.
Hi.
Yay!
Thank
Yay.
you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry my
Uh,
cat's being really loud in the background, by the way.
we
Don't
love
ever be
pet
sorry for
visits.
pets. Yeah.
We love pet visits.
Oh yes, little Greg is a loud mouth.
Little Greg, I love it.
I know, that's so cute.
You baby.
Actually, now we need to see more of little Greg. Oh
Here's little Greg.
my God, yay!
Yay. Oh, such precious animals. I love them.
So sweet.
Just a baby.
Oh,
About to turn 1.
Wow.
wow. The
Still,
big
it is
baby.
still so young.
Yes.
It's a fun
Well,
age, so experimental. Anyway.
we'll get more into little Greg later.
Yeah.
But for now, we should start with the beginning of your pole journey. What got you into pole dancing?
So it was 7 years ago as of early January 2025. So it was January 2018 that I started because I saw a really cool video of Bethany Finlay on a Lyra over a stream. And I was like, well, I want to learn to do that. And so I started researching studios in my area that did Lyra, and then they also did pole. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna do pole too because I want to learn Lyra, and it's here. And so I just started going to pole classes every week and doing aerial sometimes, but mostly just kind of stuck with pole and became like primarily a pole dancer. I say I'm like painfully mediocre at everything else, but I will do any apparatus that's made of metal. So Lyra, trapeze, I have an aerial umbrella that some people have seen. I've used it at PoleCon last year. I've done aerial cube, but I don't do silks. Mm-mm.
I haven't seen the umbrella yet. Oh, MG, I have to check that out. That sounds fun.
It's so fun.
Right, I
Yeah.
only thought because I looked at the pictures that you sent.
Yes.
Right, it looks really, really cool.
That's in the
It's
pictures.
really fun.
Oh, I got that for him.
It's like surprisingly difficult to use because it's like having a pole and then the world's smallest, like thinnest Lyra. And I'm 5 feet tall, so I can actually stand up in it, but not everyone can stand in it.
That's so cool.
Just
Oh.
barely, but
Would you say pole's your favorite so far?
for sure. I spend the most time on pole. I stuck with it the most out of every apparatus. And I am a lot more advanced at pole than I am at other apparatuses. So I think that that's part of why I like it as much as I do, is I'm like, well, look, I'm good at this one though. Whereas the other ones, I'm like a very intermediate student.
Oh, I definitely understand. Do you find though that the other apparatuses help you with pole, like cross training or a little change?
Absolutely, especially like because you're using the same muscles in different ways. I think it helps a lot with like being able to do more pole pull-ups, because if you can do like a trapeze pull-up, you can do a pole pull-up. Or climbing and grip strength, because like the ropes on the trapeze are a different type of grippy than the pole is.
I love that. I agree. I've done Lyra so far and Silks, and both of them I was like, holy hell, this is like completely different, but so awesome.
Oh yes.
Right, I like the Lyra, but I am
Mhm.
with you though. I do not like silks.
They're just not for me. It's too floppy.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the silks. I was obsessed with like how everything had a procedure, like the specific ways you had to wrap the silk. I don't know why I found it fascinating. But I will say it hurt my hands the most. By the end of it, like I was like, I cannot move.
Yes.
I think they're so pretty to look at when people are good, especially, then I'm like, wow. But
Yes.
I can't understand it. I go to climb it and I'm like, it keeps moving.
Yeah. And I think Silks has the best drops.
Oh, for sure. The crazy tumbles from like 20 something feet in the air and they just like down to the bottom and then like land
Oh, yes.
beautifully.
Oh, good
Can't
time.
imagine how that would feel. Like it's just like it's like ah, ah.
I'd scream. I'd scream.
But maybe
Oh,
it's fun. I don't know. I also didn't I don't have any patience to wrap myself in all of the things.
I couldn't. It's just not for me. It's like I say I'm a medals girly because my studio does both pole and aerial. Um, I always just say I'm there for the medals, and then we have like the fabrics people and they all hang out on the silks and I'll like sit with them and look clueless and amazed at the same time.
Love it. But did you have any dancer movement background before trying pole and aerials? Or
I didn't have any dance background. I was actually a senior in high school when I started pole, just to make sure that everyone knows that I'm just a baby. um, so I was on the cross country team and I was on the track team as a pole vaulter, but I was like, once again, just like a very intermediate pole vaulter. You know, I could get to like 7 feet and some change, and that's still pretty scary, just jumping that high. But only for like the 4 years of high school did I do those things. Beyond that, no athletic background whatsoever.
oh my gosh, have you ever thought of combining pole vaulting and pole dancing?
People always joke with me that I went from one pole to another.
I love it. Too funny.
Like imagine if you did the vault and you were like up in the air and you did like a butterfly before you came down. Like, is that
I
I wish
love
I would have thought of something like that back when I was a pole vaulter. And I sometimes say, like, I bet I could go back and be a pole vaulter and be better than I was in high school because now I'm a lot stronger. Like, in high school, I was one of those people that was afraid to have muscles. Like, and the girls, like, I don't want to get bulky. And so I was, like, really small. And now I am not because I've recognized that I actually love the way that I look with more muscle on myself. It feels strong. I remember being like, I don't want to do too many arm workouts. I don't want my arms to get big. And so I was like, that was probably part of why I wasn't as good as other people.
no?
I've
Well,
learned my lesson. I realize now that I was wrong and that I'm actually super cute with big arms.
yes. Right. And they serve a purpose too.
Oh, yeah. I'm like pulling myself up on the pole, doing all sorts of flippy tricks. And I'm like, okay, okay. We love a strong lady.
Yes.
that. OMG. I wait for 5, 10 years down the line. You retry pole vault. I could picture it pole vaulting onto the pole.
I'll have to make a routine about it.
I love it. Oh my goodness. So what would you say is your favorite type of style, if you have any?
I'm a big fan of both power pole and hardstyle exotic. Those are my two go-tos.
Oh, power pole is amazing. Hard style, I want to. I'm so
I love it. I love a good like heel clack all over everything.
Yes.
yeah. It looks too fast. I feel like I'm not ready. Like I could do power pole, but like those fast transition and heels one day.
It's so fun. You got to just get in there and really start going for it because I think that what's harder is when you try to break it down slowly for people, like when you're teaching them. And then it's like, okay, so you're gonna hold this pose and like, can you hold it a little longer so I can get into it? And you're just sitting there straddling for like a minute.
Oh, I can imagine with the heels, it makes it added challenge.
You got ankle weights on pretty much.
I love it. I have to try it. Mandy's been telling me I have to try it.
You
Um,
should listen.
On my
Yeah,
list.
right. But your footy has to heal.
Oh yeah.
It will.
No more boo-boos. As the queen of the injuries, I
Oh no. You're
yeah,
like injury journey.
yes. Um so starting last year, I had injured my wrist, and then I got a concussion right before Northeast last year, or 2 years ago now. It was 2023. Um, and so I had like missed Toronto, which is one of the competitions that I like to go to in 2023, because I had been in a car accident. Healed up really nicely. Everything was fine for several months. Nothing crazy happened. And then right before PoleCon, I sprained my ankle. So if you were to go back and watch the videos from PoleCon, you can see that I am wearing an ankle brace. I do a cartwheel and kind of like wobble over because I had a sprained ankle, and then I broke my wrist as soon as my ankle healed. So that's why I sat out at Liberty this past year in 2024, and I was judging with you, Mændy, because I had a broken wrist. um, and then now I am rehabbing a shoulder injury that's going pretty well. It seems like I'm pretty good. I can move around with full mobility again. It just sometimes is a little pinchy now.
Now that you have said all of those things, I remember when we first met, you were all broken.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So now that makes me even more amazed that you were on stage in November and you killed it in two routines.
Yeah. Well, I had to use the one that I didn't get to use, and then I had already planned on doing the other one, so I had to put them both out there. I didn't get to use one of them.
Man, but that was amazing. You healed up and you're great.
Yes, this
Oh,
this
yeah.
year I'm planning on. We have people on injury patrol. I'm not allowed to hurt myself this year.
Or ever.
And no more injuries. We're being
No.
very careful, but I'm hoping that, not to say that I didn't do as well as I wanted to do this year because of the injury. And I know that that's why, because I didn't get as much practice time. And so there was just hiccups that didn't get worked out. So the goal is to not get injured this year and then be able to put out my best work.
Yes.
Yes, and you're gonna do it.
Yes.
Yes. May I ask, um,
Yeah.
did you learn from the injuries and do you mind sharing for other pole dancers who might go through the same thing or be going through the same thing?
Um, yeah, so the hardest part for me was that it took a lot away from my training, but I learned how to work around my training. Um, so with the ankle, that was actually not as hard to deal with because luckily you can kind of be on one foot, and it made me have to train like up in the air more, which was good. I felt a lot stronger. And then I broke my wrist actually doing pole. I did like a cool flip. I caught, and then I fell on the floor after I like landed. So it was like I stumbled and then I fell, and it was just snapped right at the wrist. I was like, what an embarrassing injury, because it was just me tripping on the floor essentially. But I did a lot of core, and I learned how to train one-handed. So just doing like tucks where instead of holding the pole in like a strong hold, true grip situation, I'm using only one hand and then like sticking my armpit to hold on. And just kept making sure I was keeping up with conditioning. A lot of core with the broken wrist, a lot of stretching, just trying to not lose too much strength. And luckily, it wasn't a super bad break, so it was only a couple of months before I was able to get back up and be able to hold weight on it again. It still sometimes gets sore with like handstands and stuff, but I
Man.
actually developed one of my workshops based on that. So I have one that's called Oops All Elbows, because I would do elbow grip tricks.
Because that's all you had.
Yes.
That's genius, though. I love a good elbow grip.
Oh, they're my favorite now.
Oh, they're so fun, and you can surprisingly do so many things with them, like right side up and upside down.
Oh, yeah. I was like upside down climbing in like a caterpillar climb while I had a broken
I
arm.
love
There's a video
caterpillar.
on my Instagram. I think it's pinned where you can see I'm like invert climbing. I like
No. Oh, I think you are frozen.
Oh no.
No! We're stuck in a caterpillar climb.
I love it. I've been working on that lately.
Oh,
It
there you
moves.
are.
there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for reminding us like how creative you can be when you have an injury, like how creative you have to be.
Oh yeah.
And like what good could come from it, and you don't have to be totally out of your practice.
Oh yeah. I was very sad about it for sure because I was like, I can't train and I can't compete. I remember being in Philly and I had to walk out for a little bit because I was so sad I wasn't up on stage competing and I like just walked out into the parking lot with my partner and I was like, I'm just really depressed right now.
Aw,
I
I'm
got back in
sorry.
there. It's fine. It was fine. It was at the end of the day, I was like, I learned by watching how everybody else did, and I just got myself back on the horse as soon as I was better.
Yes. Right. And you were super supportive through all of it. So like you
Oh,
were
yeah.
still part of everything, even
I
though
felt like I was still a part of everything because I was helping with the judging and volunteering. So it was nice because I got to cheer everybody on.
yes. Oh, thank you for sharing all of that. I think
Of
that's
course.
very important for people to hear because unfortunately injuries are a
They
part of
happen.
many people's pole dance journey.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Oh goodness. Good times. Oh, I love the elbow grip stuff too. Caterpillar.
I do not like the elbow grip, but I feel like for my hypermobility, it's probably something I should work on more.
Yeah.
I understand.
I love
Well, let's talk a little bit about how long into your pole dance journey did you start being a coach?
I started coaching only in the end of 2023. It was after I started competing and traveling more for pole that people at my studio and in my area started being like, oh, I wish that you were teaching. And so I started offering private coaching because I wanted to be able to spread pole dancing and traveling for pole dance in like the wider community outside of our area. Um, and now I'm working on getting more online coaching set up so that I can teach people via videos and from outside of my area. I actually am coaching one girl that lives in Connecticut for this upcoming season. I'm very excited.
that is exciting. I love private coaching. It's so fun.
It's so fun. I love taking private lessons, which is definitely something that pushed me, is I was taking private lessons both in person and online, and the private lessons I took online helped a lot with like cleaning up my fundamentals like shoulder mounts and inverts.
Mhm. I agree. It's a different feel.
Hmm.
Right.
Choreo.
Those are
Go ahead.
great things you can practice at home because a lot of, home pullers, we've got like short poles.
Oh
So you
yeah.
Mhm.
be doing like combos and stuff.
Mhm. I'm very fortunate that my ceilings are almost 10 feet tall, so I do have a pretty tall home pole,
Nice.
but uh, I certainly think that home polling is still hard because like I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm at the studio, for some reason I can grip 10 times better than I can on my home pole. My home pole is 4 years old now. It's broken in. It just doesn't like I'm not sticky on it sometimes.
Right. I feel like that too. Like I'll try my best at home, but it's something about like, I don't know, you need like all your friends around or something.
Yeah, I need moral support.
Yeah. But no, I love the online classes and I love that you offer them. And I think that it's really important, especially if there's not like a lot of pole studios in your area. Um, yeah. And I noticed in your bio, you said that you coach in ways that are less conventional. And I wondered if you might offer some examples as to some of those ways.
Yeah, so that tends to be because I learned how to invert in a really not great technique kind of way, and I learned how to mount with bad technique. So those were habits I had to break before I was able to do them properly. And so because of that, I learned how to like handspring before I was able to have a good shoulder mount and before I was able to have a good invert. Like my shoulder mounts are still up there on tricks that you'll almost never see me do. But I learned to handspring a lot faster because I learned that with good technique. And it also um, influenced me to encourage people to drop down into like a jasmine rather than inverting a lot so that they can get into those harder tricks. And so I tend to push people to get into tricks that are what they might think they can't do just because they can't like conventionally invert and chopper very well. Just because if you can drop down and invert, you can get into a lot more tricks than you realize. And I think that a lot of people can do harder tricks than they realize.
I agree. There's so many ways to get upside down besides inverting.
hmm Or like the like baby invert where you're doing like a split grip and you kind of like apprentice your way up.
I love it. That's a fun one too. That I find that one is tough.
I think that just because of how I learned, that one tends to be a little bit easier for me because I was taught to just run and jump to invert when I first learned. My first ever teacher was not someone who was the safest. It took me a couple years to break some bad habits.
I believe it. We all get those bad habits.
hmm
I
Right.
learned Mr. Club.
Yeah.
Just makes us better coaches because we know what we don't, what we should not be doing or what was not
Yes.
good. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. The lowering down into the inverts is, empowering because then you can do so many more things.
You can.
Yeah. Like I would be teaching someone who's a lower level inverter and can only drop down. I think they can still do moves like Pegasus and things like that. Or I learned how to get into Brass Monkey in every other way besides shoulder mounting. Like handstand into it, drop down into it from Genie, every single way that you could think of besides shoulder mounting is how I learned how to do it first.
Right? Yeah, there's a bazillion different ways. Like everyone's body is different. I think
Yes.
it's funny too, you mentioned you're like stronger in the split grip. Like I don't even understand what that means. Like that's like my least favorite, and I'm so weak and I'll never do an Aisha.
See,
Yes.
I love a split grip. I can't do the behind the back grip because I just have short little dinosaur arms.
Same, right? I feel like they're gonna like spring off.
Yes. Like I feel like I'm gonna dislocate my shoulder if I do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Right, those aren't for me either.
And it's okay to say no. Yes.
Yes.
We got to start teaching that more, I feel. Social media is just like, do the thing. No, it's okay.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. Right. And like I can't do an iguana in the air, but I can do a floor iguana.
Oh, I think that's harder.
I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
It is much harder.
Everybody's body is so different. That's why I coach based on how your body wants to move, rather than like a you have to do it in ABC order kind of way.
Yes, I love that. Do you have any other teaching philosophies to share?
I This is something I was working on a lot with my friends when we were on our way to Northeast because I was coaching a lot of them on how to do competitions. None of them have had ever done one, and I was the only person in our circle or in our area really that had done competitions. And I was like, I want you to just remember you're supposed to be enjoying yourself and you're supposed to be like doing moves that feel good to you. Like pole is about feeling good. Because they were all stressed out. And I was like, guys, stop being stressed.
Yes. That's some great advice for competitors and for teachers alike. Just keep having fun.
Hmm.
Right? I was talking to somebody about that the other day because I was like, why would you want to be on stage showing a trick that makes you feel terrible?
When you're like fake
Like,
smiling through the trick because it
right?
hurts so bad, like I
Right?
can't.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I want to put a spatchcock on stage. That's why I put my body through it. Let me, not me, I just, you know,
We all want to put a spatchcock on stage.
too far.
Everyone wants to broken Machenkos so bad, but I
Oh my
can't.
God. No.
It's not happening.
Oh, I don't know. I'll be happy with a broken doll.
Right? Like if the broken doll feels good, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the time it does not feel good.
So we'll have a broken doll variation.
Yes. A stiff broken doll. Oh my gosh. Well, since we're on pole tricks, do you have any favorite pole tricks to share?
My favorite pole trick is probably Bird of Paradise. Love it.
That is a beautiful one.
I
It's
love
just
that one.
it was one that when I figured out I could do it, I was like, well, I'm never putting this away. It's in my pocket forever now.
Any flexibility training tips?
Yes.
Before I had my son, which my son is 4.5 years old now, so it's been a while. I was a contortionist, and so I stretch every day for 15 minutes now, at least 15 to 30 minutes, because I don't want to lose that flexibility, and I try to just change positions every minute to 30 seconds or so, and go between different splits and back bendy things. Some days I focus more on my back, some days I focus more on my splits. But just make sure you're stretching as often as you can, like even active rest days where you stretch.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have like a pretty good balance of like strength and flexibility. I thank you for that tip. Like I
Yes.
really need to get better with my stretching, especially my back bending.
Every day, my partner and I, we do 15 minutes of core, um, and then we do 15 minutes of flexibility training, which is mostly him pushing me into flexibility tricks rather than him doing it. But we do our best.
Oh my God. Also, your partner is like the most supportive, amazing partner ever. Shout out. Yes.
Yes, Matthew is lovely. He was so excited. He loves going to competitions and just cheering everybody on. He's like the happiest little thing.
Yes. Right. And didn't he had to go to work at one of them, didn't he? We
Yes.
needed the extra, was it stage monitor?
Yes, and he had so much fun. He like made an Instagram because of the amount of people that were like, "You're so nice. Let me follow you on Instagram." So now he has an Instagram solely because I want to say it was the owner of Aries Aerial Arts came up and was like, "My girls keep telling me that you're so nice."
Well, he'll have to volunteer again because everyone will be waiting for him.
I love it.
Yeah, he shows up with a suit on. He's like in
Yeah.
a three-piece suit and ready to roll every day.
Love it.
That was awesome. Pole dancing, bringing everyone together. Hopefully, it should. Yes.
Yes, he will be doing a level 1 routine hopefully this year as well. So fingers crossed there. But
Mhm.
That's amazing.
yes.
Hell yeah.
That is exciting,
Right. See how the pole industry just scoops everyone up.
as it should.
Like the best industry to be in though.
Yes. Oh, we should we didn't go into your whole competition journey. Do you want to go into, have you only done PSO? Have you done other competitions?
So I've only done PSO because I was supposed to do the US Aerial Federation competition this past July, but I had a broken wrist. Um, so this year I will be doing it. Um, but as of right now, I've only done PSO.
That's gonna be awesome. Good grip. U.S. Aerial
Thank
Federation. Goodness, I know about them. When you have to do a virtual submission for that first, right?
You actually don't. So I am on the membership committee and the athletes advisory committee for the U.S. Aerial Federation. So I was quite lucky because I get to like pick at the brains of Tanya, the head of the U.S. Aerial Federation, a
Oh,
little bit more than
Tanya.
other people do.
Oh,
And
easy.
they were at PoleCon this year. That's how I got involved with them. And they let you just sign up. So if you're signing up for amateur, you can just kind of show up and do whatever. Uh, I was doing amateur, not sport, amateur artistic. I'm
Yay.
an artistic polar more than a sport polar for sure.
That's awesome. I did not know they did that. That's good to know.
You can submit the videos to get feedback ahead of time and like get an idea of what they're looking for, but you aren't required to.
I was thinking about becoming a member because I know it's a wonderful federation. She does,
Yes.
Tanya Christopher does an amazing job.
Oh, yes, she does. And we're trying to get Pole into the Olympics. So,
Yeah.
the more people, the better that goes.
Yes. Uh, and Morris is a beautiful studio.
Oh my gosh. I love looking at their videos because it's just pretty like visually and they're so professional.
Yes, they are. I got to do her website. That was fun.
Oh,
That was a good time.
It's a
Anyway,
small world.
US Aerial Federation, y'all. Another competition you should try out.
Yes.
yeah. If Land of Lakes happens again this year, I know Miss Angie, the owner of Pole Art Co. that runs Land of Lakes, I would consider competing with them. She was saying she's not sure if she's going to run the festival again this year.
Mhm.
I taught there last year and I performed there, but I didn't compete.
Somebody
Miss
else mentioned that
Angie.
one. I forget who.
I saw it on Instagram, the post she put about it. So I hope everything for the best. Miss Angie is another
Yes.
amazing pole dancer.
I
Pole archer.
love Miss Angie so much. She's actually someone I took a lot of online private lessons with.
Yay.
I wish nothing but the best for her this year.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-mm. We never asked about your pole nemesis neither.
It's probably Dragon Tail because of the fact it's like the behind the back move and it just makes me feel like I'm gonna fall down and die.
That
I
one I
definitely
wanted
hope so.
so bad, so I trained my ass off to get that one until I felt good. But every time I go into it, I'm like, remember, Mandy, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it.
Yes.
It scares me and I'm always like, ah, I'm about to fall on my face, so I don't even try it anymore. I just accept that that one's not gonna live in my repertoire.
Oh,
It is a
you
beautiful
know,
shape,
for
but it's
now,
definitely not an everyday thing.
right?
It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous. And there's so many things you could do with the shape too.
Mm.
Mhm.
But like, if it goes wrong,
It
Oh my
goes-
God. I feel like I'm gonna just like roll out of it every
right?
time I
That's
try.
how it feels. Like it's if you're not like if your shoulder, yeah.
I
Just
love it.
flop.
Oh my gosh, I would never fang in it though.
Oh no.
Like, really? People do that?
I think it looks so cool when they do. I just can't.
Right? I would not, like you're just on that arm bar. Come on.
Yeah, and I can't even imagine the amount of shoulder mobility and flexibility to be able to do that. Have your arm wrapped around. Like even now, I do this. It's like, ooh, you tight right now.
Right? Yeah. Right. Must be lots of mobility exercises.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Shoulder mobility, I have less so than I have like a back mobility, but it's still there. It just the like whole I'm like a wider lady and then I got dinosaur like T-Rex arms. It's just it's never happening.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Well, that's
Our
all right.
our bodies are always changing and growing.
Mhm.
Anything's possible in the future. It's just not for me at this time.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand completely.
Well, I was when we were talking about online learning too, did you learn mostly online or did you learn mostly in person or um
Probably about 50-50. So there's two studios in my area now that are both very good, reputable studios. It's Aerial Arts of Rochester and Rock Pole Fitness. Shout out to both of them. Great teachers at both. Uh, but at when you start to get to like higher levels, then I think it's harder to find people to train you and it's harder to find classes to go to. So that's when I've found that online lessons have helped a lot, and then cleaning up my technique and learning things that aren't taught at either of those studios.
right? I think that's awesome because just going back to like sometimes there's pole dancers in areas that don't have any studios and like do you have any tips for anyone who wants to like dedicate themselves to an online learning journey? Because you have to be more dedicated, I feel like.
I agree. I think that you have to make sure you're setting a schedule for yourself. So try and go like 3 days a week or something like that for an hour or however long you feel is the correct amount. I try to train almost every day, doing either pole or some form of cross training for pole, um, and use more than one program. So I like a lot of the different like Pole Power Academy, Pole Destroyers, lots of different programs like that are all really good, and you should try a bunch of them.
I love that. Those are all very good programs and good advice. It's hard to be a home puller because you're right, Mandy, as well, too. You have to have the motivation and like um Gothic Babydolls, Michelina said as well. It's not easy to find like higher level classes all the time.
hmm Speaking of online classes, I am working on setting up a website right now for online classes. So it'll be up soon. It should be up when this episode comes out. It's babydollspolstudio.com. Very simple. And it's got conditioning and so far low and intermediate level classes with comprehensive videos.
I love that. And we'll have that link in the notes and comments for when this video airs for people and we get it.
Yes.
Exciting. That's gonna be awesome.
I'm very excited about it. I have multiple different people helping me film so that we have more than one body type on there. And it's men and women helping me film so that we can show anyone can pole dance and how it'll look with different body types. I know my partner has always preferred learning from men because it just like you better understand how your bodies are like, wait, center of mass difference and everything. So it's nice to see everybody's teaching styles.
Love the representation.
Yes. That- That's gonna be fun.
Yay.
I'm also playing
Very
some.
excited about it.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much for making that available to everyone and also
Of
for thinking
course.
about multiple body types in the same video too, because that's something that I don't think I've seen. Yeah.
Each course will have at least two different people showing you how to do the moves so that you can always like get an idea, even if it's not two people that one of them looks like you know that different bodies will do it. Like I'm not built the same way as one of my teachers who we call her our sexy stick figure. I call her a sexy stick figure. She's like almost 6 feet tall and she's very thin and she's lovely, but she's not built anything like me.
Yeah, I found learning to teach that was one of the biggest things that they did not emphasize in the certifications I took. Except Body by Fran, that was a good one, where body types was a key figure, not only learning styles, but the different body types is so important to learn how to teach.
Oh yeah,
And feel like a lot of certifications can do a better job at that.
I agree.
Right. Even what we just discussed about like having short T-Rex arms and not being able to reach behind us. Like,
Yes.
that is a real thing that, two of us in this space have. So it must be more people as
Oh,
well.
for sure.
Well, thank you for bringing up your website. Do you have any other things that are up and coming for you happening soon?
I just set up time to be going down to Metropolis Studio, down in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania with Metro Mikey. I'm going to be teaching some workshops down there on kips and hardstyle. And I'm working on just setting up workshops around visiting studios and getting things like that set up, but that's the only one I have currently set. It's for the first weekend in April.
Yes, Metropolis, that's gonna be so fun, and kips are always fun.
I know, I don't see a lot of people teaching kips, so I'm very excited to do it.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
If you're ever in the Springfield, Massachusetts area,
I would love to.
we will talk after.
Absolutely.
Yay! Right, I don't know if I'll be learning kips, but we can provide that for those who want to.
You could do it. I
I tried and I was scared. I don't know.
love kips.
There's so many different kinds of
There's
kips,
so
though.
many
You don't
different
even have
kips,
to
though.
necessarily do like a full kip. You could do like pole
Yes.
kips, you can do like lower level kips. It's all fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
so many different ones.
Kips for
Tips
Mandy.
for Mandy. Tips for Mandy 2025.
You're
Yes.
you're gonna find your one kip that you're obsessed with.
That'd be cool. I would do that.
Well,
Okay.
especially because you always do so much heels stuff. It just makes sense.
Right?
Oh, yes.
The hamstrings, I don't
Hmm.
trust them.
I understand.
It's funny. I love it.
Oh,
Okay. I
well,
will say,
yay. I love this tour. I hope there'll be more dates on the tour soon.
yeah,
Here's hoping.
Yes. And then competitions this year.
So I will be doing PSO Liberty again. Um, I am doing the U.S. Aerial Federation in South Carolina. And then I do PSO Toronto every year because I'm very close to Toronto. It's like a 2.5 hour drive. And I'll be back at Northeast. And I'm also performing at PoleCon this year in the freestyle showcase.
Ooh,
this year's PoleCon is gonna be fierce.
I'm
yes.
so excited.
Oh, OMG, Mandy.
I know we'll be admiring from afar again.
Oh,
Uh,
No,
well, I don't know. PoleCon has now, they have a grant to help people go. We can apply. I got the email. I was like, ooh,
you should
was,
apply.
was it IPIA? Something like one of them offers a grant. I was like, oh my.
right, because that's really the money thing is really the only thing holding us
It
back.
is expensive, but it's a great experience if you can
Right.
afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wanted to do Body by France Traincation again because I absolutely loved it, but I just cannot make it happen.
Right. Yeah.
Things are expensive. It's hard.
Right. But
Mm.
everything will happen in its own time.
Yes. More online stuff.
Yeah. But do you have a specific hand and body grip that you use?
I rotate it based on what I'm doing. So most of the time I'm an eye tack on the body and then dry hands on the hands kind of girly. But if I'm just doing like a quick training session where I just want to practice a trick I found on Instagram really fast, then I either do rosin spray or I do monkey hands, but like the green bottle, gluey. Uh, that's just my quickie grips.
I love the eye tag and the monkey hands. I don't know if I've heard the rosin spray.
They're not allowed at a lot of competitions because they're hard to get off the pole. So that's why I only use them for like quick things. But um, I don't even know which one I have. I know that um, it's just rosin, like the little rocks that they use for silks and stuff, put in alcohol.
Oh wow. I love that. Fascinating.
It's very sticky.
I wonder if that's the spray.
Uh,
Someone left a spray at our studio. Chris, I don't know if you tried it.
the purple one?
Yeah,
Rosin
it's
spray.
really
Um,
sticky. Like it will stick
It's
your clothes to yourself.
it's like
Ooh, I love it. We getting sticky. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, well, I think, oh, do you have any free time? And what do you do in that free time?
so I spend a lot of my free time either at school or at work. Usually like pole is my free time, and then the rest of my life is schoolwork and hanging out with my toddler. He's not a toddler anymore. He's a child. He's 4. He's a baby. I don't know. He's just my little baby. But I am in school working on some pre-med stuff. I'm working on finishing up a bachelor's degree right now in biology, and planning to apply to med school. And I work doing tissue procurement. So after you die, after they take out all your organs, they can still take your skin and bone and nerves and everything else. And that's what I do.
That is fascinating. OMG, I love that.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of anatomical models next to me actually. This is
My
for those who can
favorite.
are viewing. There's a heart and a little anatomical person next to me.
I am not about it. I love that.
I saw the skeleton and I was like, oh, that's normal. But no, you have some extra unnormal anatomical models that that people don't usually have. I didn't know you were in the medical field. That's so awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, that I guess that came in handy when you got injured, unfortunately.
Yes, I have all kinds of muscular and skeletal models in my dance room actually. So I can see exactly what's hurting me at certain times and understand how to rest it better.
Oh my gosh. Well, well, to your benefit, I guess. But
No
that
more
does make
injuries
you, oh,
though.
like an amazing coach because you also, know all of everything.
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you have all the time to do all of those things though and still study.
I know. Thank you for sharing that because I'm like in the same boat, and sometimes I'm like, why?
It's overwhelming sometimes, but I make do.
I know that's right. I know that's right. That's all we can do.
Right? Then do you have any self-care or community care tips to share with everyone?
I personally just take a lot of time to decompress. Like I take a nice hot bath once a week and just waste the I don't care that it's like people like, oh, baths are gross or anything. You know what? Rinse off before or after. It doesn't matter. Because I think that like it's nice to just get into the zone, listen to either music or a podcast and just like relax and like let everything out. And then I try to make a time to hang out with my family and my friends and the people that matter to me because I think that that just helps decompress.
I agree.
Eat a
Mm.
comfort meal while you're sitting around, have some ice cream for dinner.
I
Yeah.
love it. Comfort meals are my favorite.
Right, especially this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I'm Tonight we're having game night with my stepson, and we're gonna have my favorite comfort food, pizza.
Yes. That sounds like fun. We had pizza last night.
I love it.
Oh,
OMG, where do you hope to see yourself in the with Poe in 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. 2 to 5.
I would love to be able to do all of the tricks that are like my current work in progress tricks or like dream tricks in the next 5 years and be just pushing harder at getting new tricks. So right now I'm working on flick flacks and flybys and all sorts of power pole fun stuff. um, and my goal is to have all new Nemesis tricks by the time that the 5 year mark rolls around, and be teaching more.
I love that. And when you get your website, started, I will tell you, it will be a lot of admin work.
I'm sure.
Uh,
But
have
fun and worth it.
I'm excited and also like a little bit overwhelmed by it, but it's okay. I know
Oh,
it'll be worth it.
it
yes.
is. All I can say is start your email list, email list.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Right. And then just take it one day at a time.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
got this.
Yeah. Super exciting. Yay! I think that was all the questions that I had for Michelina.
I know. Lately we've been asking, do you find, have we been asking? I find sometimes we forget and sometimes we ask, is nutrition important for pole?
I think that to some extent nutrition is important. Like I'm a big like eat your protein kind of girl, but I'm also not going to be like clean eating or anything like that because I think that most people don't need to think too hard about beyond just getting like eating enough protein and eating enough food. Um I think that one of the more important things is making sure that you're eating food that you like.
So
Like
thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
as someone who has tried so hard in the past to like eat nothing but healthy foods, it's just sad. I would rather eat some pasta and just have broccoli mixed into it than not eat the pasta.
Yes.
I love
Right?
that.
Like make it more tolerable.
Hmm.
And like, yeah. I can't do without treats.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna have ice cream after we get off of this, so
I can't do without a
Love
treat.
it. I
I need
can't.
a sweet treat.
Sweet treats are fun. I'm cheese. Cheese is like my thing, but now I'm
You know
needing
what?
lactate
If you
pill or the pill.
No,
The ones you have to take before you eat the cheese.
no.
Oh my God, I hate
The cheese betrayal.
it.
It's okay. You know what? Cheese, it's got a lot of protein in it. It's worth it.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Agree.
I love it. Do
I
you
did want. Oh, go ahead,
um
Mandy.
when you train for competition, do you have to like up the protein or anything? Like do you find you have to change your
I think I stick with the same amount of protein for the majority of the year. So I usually have a protein drink or a protein bar, one of the two every day, because it like gives me like a forced 20 grams, and then I'm pretty good about eating a lot of protein with my meals because I just keep like large amounts of chicken breasts in my house, and I usually just make sure I'm having something like that with my food. So if I'm having pasta, for example, because that's like a comfort food for me, then I just make sure I have either like chicken or beef in it and then put some broccoli or something in it. And then I'm like, look, I still get to have my comfort food, but I have protein in it and vegetables.
Yes, the best of both worlds, comfort food and the healthy stuff.
right? Yeah. Right. That's a good
Add,
idea.
not subtract.
Because I think that's something that I always lack is the protein. And I always, because I'm also vegetarian.
Oh,
But yeah, I can like put some like walnuts or something in pasta probably.
Yeah.
lentils are great.
Right, just something else to because I also like pasta.
Yeah.
Yes. Black bean avocado pizza.
Right? That sounds really good
It
actually.
is black bean avocado feta tomato pizza.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, just little small ways. Because right, I'll get really tired and then I'll be like, it's the protein.
I
Oh,
feel it's the carbs that make me sluggish,
really?
but I love the carbs.
Same.
It's important to have them though. Your body runs on carbs. People that say don't eat carbs are people that are sad.
That's
Right?
what gives her energy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for sharing those bits on nutrition and protein.
Of course.
And do
Do
you
you want to? Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was wondering if you had any tips to for anyone who is starting out pole dancing.
Um, try multiple teachers if you can, especially if there's more than one studio in your area. Try multiple studios, try multiple teachers. I know it gets expensive. So even if you're not going every week to a different person or every week to the more expensive studio, because I know there's one in my area that's a little more expensive than the other, um, just try to pop into any teacher that you can find so that you can get more of a broad learning spectrum.
I love that. That is a huge important tip.
Mhm.
The way you grow is to learn from different people, different studios, different styles.
Right. Too,
Yeah.
not every teacher is for everyone too. You might not really connect with the first teacher and um like don't let that turn you away.
Yeah, don't get discouraged just because you don't click with somebody. I've had teachers that I don't click with. There's one teacher I don't click with that I still sometimes go to classes with her just because she's really good.
I love it.
Yes.
Yes. And it's okay. I mean, sometimes we don't click with people.
Right. Yeah. We're not supposed to be for everyone.
I
No.
know there's almost 8 billion people in the world. You'll find your tribe.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Right. Especially since there's more online teachers like you. Thank
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm moving just because my phone's about to die.
No.
I did
So we're,
have, yeah, I did have one more question. We won't keep you longer. I
oh,
apologize.
you're good.
I
You
wanted
are good. I should have brought my charger closer to where I was sitting.
at least we get another view now, which is always fun.
Yes, there's my bat picture.
I love it. I could see it a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of behind my head.
Yes.
It's a bat sitting on the moon.
I love that. OMG. I did have one more thing that I want to start asking because, yeah, a lot of things in the pole industry. What do you hope to see change in the pole industry in the future? What, this could be anything, maybe the way we portray ourselves on social media, maybe gatekeeping in regards to people's styles.
I would like to see more people on social media showing like their attempts to get a trick before they just show like the perfection. Like I would, post your perfect video and then post your fails video next to it and just show you're human. Because sometimes I see those videos and I'm like, all right. I I've never done anything on the first try that beautifully, even though it's their thousandth try. And I think that I would like more people to also start pushing instead of the ABC, like you have to learn in this order philosophy, like learning how your body feels best.
I love that. Both things that I would love to also see in the pole industry because it's so true. And this is
Right.
why I wanted to start asking this question.
Yes. Right. We definitely need more authenticity and the showing all of the fails. I know Chris is really good about that.
I
I need
I
to.
appreciate that. I try. People
I'm
love to
always
watch
so afraid to
it.
show them.
People love it though, and it always is encouraging to show that other people do like to watch that because it does matter.
That's
I
true.
love seeing fail videos. I know I try to post videos that are not necessarily like perfect, but it shows how I got into it a little more clearly if I'm posting a trick. I post a lot of flow recently because I was dealing with the shoulder injury, but now my shoulder's feeling fine, so I'll be back on posting tricks hopefully soon.
Yay.
Right. Like it's always good to show the journey. And I need to follow this advice.
Yes. And is it so hard to show how you did it? Like, what conditioning did you do? Or did like you just woke up and said, I'm gonna do it. Let me
Or
start.
how you
Like,
got out of the trick because sometimes you get into it and you're like, cool, I'm gonna fall out now though.
I'm not trying that again because look at what happened.
Yes. I would love to see more people posting how they get out of tricks. Thank you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They probably didn't get out because they just cut the video after they fell. Just like we did.
But see, that's the shit they need to post.
Right? Yeah. Be like, just so you know, I didn't get out of this in a good way.
Yes. People are like, oh, get out the same way you got in. And I'm like, I got in with 9 steps and hopes and dreams.
Right? Like, tag me if you get out of this safely.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, I
Yes.
like that question, Chris.
Huh?
I like
Say
that question. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff in the Poe industry, and especially about authenticity and how we want to change and grow. And I think maybe we should all start sharing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh, I'm tired of the mean Poe stars like making people feel like crap. How about we learn and grow together?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sharon and Karen. And now I'm singing. Michelina, do you have anything else to say to anyone listening or watching this episode?
Um, I can't think of anything. I think I've really touched on all I wanted to talk about. Like, check out my website, keep being a positive influence on yourself, eat enough protein, and make sure you have ice cream for dinner sometimes.
Yes, and what's the next metal song you're gonna dance to?
So my next song is actually I'm doing a performance just in my studio to a cover of Paparazzi. Um it's by Kim Dracula, who's an artist I like a lot.
I
And then
love
my
Kim
next
Dracula.
I love Kim Dracula.
Yes.
So that's my next song that I'm performing to in my studio. I'll be posting those videos once that performance is done. It's for Valentine's Day. It's cute. So they should be up by the time this is out.
Yeah.
And then my song for competition next year, I'll share because you know what? Worst case scenario, someone else realizes it's good, and then I get to show them up anyways. It's actually "Overdose" by Grandson.
I have not heard that one yet, but I will overdose by grandson.
It's a good song.
They all start creating a routine. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, me versus Mandy, we both show up with the same song at the competition. We're both at Northeast. I danced to "Overdose" by Grandson in the evening.
Oh, I already know what I'll say. Didn't we hear the song?
Oh my God, that would be so funny if we did that just for like a joke. We were like, oh my God. It's like the same routine.
I'm doing it in sneakers, so you're gonna have to pull up.
It's always so interesting. Like so many people go to PSO and it's rare that people have the same song. Like it's interesting. It doesn't happen quite often.
Well, there was
Yeah.
one that it was two in a row of the I Put a Spell on You. And it was so funny too because it was like zippered. So it was like different categories
Level.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had the same song and we were like,
Oh no. I would have hated being the second
yeah,
person.
and it was the same version of the song because there's all sorts of different covers
Yeah,
of
there's
the
like
song.
covers and yeah.
Yeah, but that was wild. Yeah, but that would be funny.
Yeah. It would be funny. I wouldn't even be mad if it happened. It'd just be funny. If someone hears this and like listens to it and it's like, I'm gonna go to Toronto with that one, then you know what? That's cool. I hope I compete directly against you and I hope that we both kill it.
Yes.
Oh, you have a beautiful, wonderful attitude.
Thank you.
Um, well, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful journey and all of the stories that you shared and all of your brilliant wisdom as well.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah.
Yes, this has been fun. It's been so nice to meet you.
Yes.
Been so
All
nice
right.
to meet you.
Can't wait to see you again on the PSO journey.
Of course. I can't wait to see you again.
Yes.
And maybe
Oh,
do workshops at Poe in the Wall.
I would
Yes.
love to.
That'd be so awesome. I will be contacting you immediately following.
Lovely.
But in the meantime, thank you everyone so much for listening to or watching this episode of Pull on the Call podcast. My name is Mandy Mac.
And I am Cris Rivers. Ooh. Ooh.
Thank you so much, Michelina, also known as, or sorry, Gothic Baby Doll, also known as Michelina, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you
Really,
so
our
much.
pleasure. This was fun.